Grace is a Lebanese-Canadian architect, educator, and TEDx speaker based in Vancouver, whose work is grounded in spatial justice with a focus on trauma-informed design, architectural education, and adaptive housing. A Fulbright scholar and first-generation university graduate, her multidisciplinary career spans North America and the Middle East, with practice experience in Portland, California, Honolulu, Dubai, and across British Columbia. She is driven by a commitment to design as a catalyst for equity in America. Grace is currently a project manager at Fraser Health Authority, leading healthcare infrastructure projects to prioritize patient and community well-being. She previously worked at JM Architecture Inc. in Surrey, contributing to a variety of architecture projects across the city. She co-founded Aibc, a Bay-based architecture practice focused on residential, community, and public interest design. Her notable work includes designing playgrounds and housing projects, building a post-disaster clinic in Hot Mill, Haiti, and co-leading urban advocacy programs campaigns to reopen Beirut's largest park as a post-war reconciliation space. Earlier in her career, Grace worked at G7 in Honolulu, where she contributed to award-winning hospitality projects and embraced the flying principle of honor, doing what is right, as a guiding value in her design practice. She holds a Master of Architecture from the University of Oregon, where her thesis on refugee shelter design earned the 3MT statewide People's Choice Award. She was part of the Global Justice Award research team studying adaptive refugee housing, and was awarded the Japanese University Education Scholarship to contribute to the design of the national crew for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Grace has dedicated the last 15 years of practice to mentorship, career development, and entrepreneurship. The latest milestone in her career is becoming an architect in Aibc, while making Richmond permanent and global. Grace,
Pink triangle house. Everyone here today does what they do for a reason. I'd like to invite each of you to take a moment and think of that reason. Give it a name. Maybe for you it's passion, or drive, or a mission, or what some call raison d'etre. Whatever it is, hold on to it, because it's what brought you here, and it's what will keep you moving forward. When I first began my architectural studies, I never imagined how long and challenging the path to licensure would be. Being a fan of numbers, I realized I've been studying to become an architect for exactly half my life. My story isn't unique. Many of us have lived the same late nights, the countless drawings, the site visits in the rain, under the sun, sometimes even under the snow, and the endless revisions. Along the way, some of us got tired. Some of us grieved for a world that seems to be changing too quickly. Some of us even lost our sense of purpose, if only for a while. Back in the country where I grew up, I was an architect, a business owner, and a university professor. For many of those titles, I was considered too young. Yet I celebrated learning, not despised being judged, but while being judged. We've all been through something at some point, and we rose to the occasion, with or without joy. But what is life but unpredictable? Here in British Columbia, people sometimes say, oh, you started from scratch, with empathy, sometimes even with pity. I'm not a fan of that word. I didn't start from scratch. No matter the continent, at every step, I pulled myself up, and I was also lifted by mentorship, camaraderie, and love. My inner voice, inherited from generations of people rooted in their land, whispered, blossom where you are, and blossom I shall. For that, I owe gratitude to my parents, my teachers, my supervisors, my formal and informal mentors. To my husband, my best and most honest friend, who is also now beginning his Aibc licensing journey. And most of all, to my daughter and son, whose words and cries carries echoes from our future. You see, in November 2024, as I was studying for my exams, my daughter Joy grew frustrated with my absence. Between a new job, studying, and an uncomfortable pregnancy, I wasn't always present. One evening, with the honesty of a 4-year-old, she asked me, "Why are you always studying?" Wanting to simplify my answer, I said, "To build us a house." Her eyes lit up. She said with excitement, "A pink triangle house with yellow windows and teak chairs?" That was her vision for the future. She didn't just believe my answer, she believed in me. For her, it was just never a house. It was a pink triangle house. For me, this achievement represents persistence, growth, and the support of everyone who believed in me. It's a promise not to disappoint those who came before us, and to honor those who trust us to build their futures, their own pink triangle houses. And as architects, that is exactly what we are called to do, to rise to the occasion. Professionally, it represents a commitment to uphold the standards of this profession and to keep learning every single day. As we humbly step into this profession together, let's remember we're not only building structures, we're building trust, connections, and communities. That is our charge, that is our privilege. Whether we call it passion, drive, mission, or raison d'être, in Donald's words, it is the delight of the architectural trinity. I simply call it joy, and to joy it will always be